What if the reason you can't keep money has nothing to do with how much you earn? Think about it. You work harder, you save more, you try to spend less, and yet somehow, the car needs an unexpected repair. A medical bill appears out of nowhere. Your credit card balance keeps climbing. Your savings account rises for a few days, and then suddenly drops again. It feels like money enters your life through the front door, only to disappear through a hidden hole somewhere inside your home. And according to an old Feng Shui belief, there is one room in your house that deserves your attention more than almost any other. Your bathroom, not your bedroom, not your kitchen, not your home office, your bathroom. Because in traditional Feng Shui, water represents the movement of wealth and resources, and the bathroom is where water constantly enters, moves, and disappears down the drain. Now imagine that your home is a giant reservoir. If there is a hole at the bottom, it doesn't matter how much water you pour into it. It will never stay full, and some people believe your bathroom can create the same symbolic problem with your finances. But here's where the story gets interesting. There is one tiny bathroom habit that millions of people do every single day without thinking about it. It takes less than 5 seconds to change. And according to this traditional belief, it could be the difference between a home that feels like money constantly escapes and a home that feels calm, organized, and financially abundant. That habit? Leaving the toilet lid open. But that's only the beginning, because an old story tells of a wealthy businessman who once lost almost everything until an elderly Feng Shui master walked into his bathroom, looked around for less than a minute, and said 4 words, "Your money has a door." What happened next changed the way the businessman looked at his home forever. And by the end of this story, you'll understand exactly what the old master meant. Daniel Carter had spent 22 years building his business. He wasn't born rich. His father had been a mechanic. His mother worked at a small grocery store. Growing up, Daniel learned one simple lesson. If you want something, work for it. And he did. At 23, he started his first small business from the garage of his rented house. At 30, he hired his first employee. At 37, he bought his first office. By 45, Daniel had become financially successful. He had a beautiful house, a nice car, a successful company, a comfortable lifestyle. From the outside, everyone thought Daniel had figured life out. But there was one problem. Daniel couldn't keep money. Every time his income increased, his expenses somehow increased with it. When he earned more, he spent more. When he saved more, something happened. The roof needed repairs. His car broke down. A business opportunity required unexpected capital. A family member needed help. Then came a major problem with his company. Within 18 months, Daniel had spent almost all the savings he had built over years. One evening, he sat alone in his home office. His laptop was open. His bank statement was on the screen. Daniel stared at the number. He had earned more money that year than he had ever earned before. Yet his savings were lower. He leaned back in his chair. How is this possible? His wife, Emily, walked into the room. "You're still working?" Daniel closed the laptop. "I don't understand." "What?" "I make more money every year. But somehow, I always end up back here." Emily sat beside him. "You're tired." "That's not it." Daniel looked toward the window. "It feels like money comes in." He paused, and then disappears. Emily smiled gently. "Maybe you just need a vacation." But Daniel didn't smile, because deep down he felt something was wrong. Not with his business, not with his salary, something about the way his life was flowing. 3 weeks later, Daniel attended a business dinner. One of the guests was an elderly man named Samuel Brooks. Samuel was almost 70. He had owned several businesses throughout his life and had retired years earlier. But unlike Daniel, Samuel seemed completely relaxed about money. He didn't talk about wealth. He didn't show off. He didn't brag about his investments. He simply listened. At one point, Daniel mentioned his financial problems. Samuel looked at him. "You make good money?" "Yes." "You work hard?" "Every day." "You know where your money goes?" Daniel hesitated. "Mostly." Samuel smiled. "Mostly?" Daniel laughed. "I guess not exactly." Samuel leaned closer. "Then perhaps your problem isn't making money." Daniel frowned. "What is it?" Samuel answered, "Keeping it." Daniel became quiet. Samuel continued, "Your home has a flow." "A flow?" "Yes, everything enters somewhere. Everything leaves somewhere." Daniel thought about it. Samuel picked up his glass of water. "Water flows." He put the glass down. "Air flows." Then he pointed toward Daniel. "Money flows." Daniel smiled. "You're saying my house is causing my financial problems?" "No," Samuel shook his head. "I am saying your environment can influence your habits, your attention, and the way you feel about what you have. Then he added, and traditional Feng Shui has an interesting way of looking at that. Daniel leaned forward. What way? Samuel smiled. Show me your bathroom. Daniel laughed. You're serious? Very. The next Saturday, Samuel visited Daniel's home. Daniel showed him the living room, the kitchen, the office, the bedroom. Finally, they reached the bathroom. Samuel didn't say anything. He simply stood in the doorway. He looked at the mirror, the sink, the towels, the shower, the toilet. Then he looked at Daniel. Do you leave the toilet lid open? Daniel looked at the toilet. Honestly? Yes. Usually. Samuel nodded. Close it. Daniel laughed. That's it? No. Samuel walked toward the toilet. In traditional Feng Shui, the bathroom represents a place where water leaves the home. He pointed toward the toilet, and the toilet is literally connected to a drain. Daniel crossed his arms. So? Samuel smiled. Symbolically, some Feng Shui traditions treat it as a place where wealth can escape. Daniel laughed again. That sounds ridiculous. Maybe. Samuel wasn't offended. But answer me this. He looked directly at Daniel. When you walk into a clean bathroom, how do you feel? Better. When everything is organized? Calmer. When the sink is dirty and towels are wet? I don't like it. Samuel nodded. That's the point. He walked over to the mirror. Your environment talks to your mind. Daniel looked around. For the first time, he noticed things he had ignored for years. The mirror had water spots. One towel was damp. There were empty shampoo bottles near the shower. The toilet lid was open. The bathroom light flickered slightly, and there was clutter everywhere. Samuel smiled. Your bathroom isn't causing you to lose money. Daniel nodded, but it may be telling you something. What? Samuel answered, you are allowing small leaks to become normal. Samuel gave Daniel one instruction. For the next 7 days, close the toilet lid every time. Daniel nodded. That seems easy. It is. And that's supposed to change my finances? Samuel smiled. No. Daniel looked confused. Then why? Because we're not trying to change your bank account. We're trying to change your awareness. That sentence stayed with Daniel. That evening he started. After using the bathroom, he closed the lid before flushing. The next morning he did it again. Then again. At first it felt meaningless, but after 3 days something strange happened. Daniel began noticing other things. He noticed the wet towel, so he hung it properly. He noticed the empty soap bottle. He replaced it. He noticed the mirror. He cleaned it. Then he looked at the bathroom floor. Dust. He cleaned that too. By the 5th day, the bathroom looked completely different, and Daniel realized something. He had spent years trying to control his finances, while ignoring the small things happening around him every single day. On the 7th day, Samuel returned. Daniel opened the door. Samuel walked inside. How's your bathroom? Daniel smiled. Come see. Samuel walked in. He looked around. Clean. Bright. Organized. The toilet lid was closed. The mirror was spotless. The towels were dry. Samuel nodded. Good. That's it? No. He reached into his pocket and pulled out a small glass container. Daniel looked at it. What is that? Salt. Salt? Sea salt. Samuel placed it on the bathroom counter. In many traditional practices, salt is associated with purification and absorbing unwanted energy. Daniel looked skeptical. Does it actually absorb negative energy? Samuel smiled. That's a question for belief. Then why use it? Because sometimes a ritual is valuable, even when the object itself isn't magical. Daniel stared at him. Samuel continued. When you place something intentionally in your home, you create a reminder. A reminder of what? To keep the space clean, to slow down, to pay attention, to stop treating your environment like background noise. Daniel nodded slowly. Samuel placed the salt in a small glass bowl. Put this somewhere dry and safe. How often should I replace it? Whenever it becomes damp or dirty. Don't keep old, contaminated material around simply because you think it's lucky. Daniel smiled. So even the salt needs housekeeping. Samuel laughed. Exactly. Chapter 6. The Third Secret. Before leaving, Samuel stopped at the bathroom door. One more thing. What? Put something alive in here. Daniel looked around. A plant? Yes. What kind? One that can actually handle your bathroom's conditions. Samuel explained that traditional Feng Shui often uses plants to symbolize growth, renewal, and life. But he added something important. Don't put a dying plant in your bathroom. Because someone told you it's lucky. Daniel laughed. Why not? Because dead leaves and neglected plants don't make a space feel alive. Daniel understood. He bought a small, healthy plant that suited the bathroom's light and humidity. He placed it near the window. Then he replaced the harsh, flickering bulb with a comfortable, warm light. The bathroom transformed. It didn't look luxurious. It didn't need to. It simply looked alive. Samuel gave Daniel one final routine. Every morning, he said, take 30 seconds. 30 seconds for what? Samuel counted on his fingers. Close the toilet lid. Wipe the mirror if there's water on it. Check the sink. Make sure the towel is dry. Look at the plant. Daniel smiled. That's your big secret? Samuel nodded. Yes. Daniel shook his head. I expected something more dramatic. Samuel laughed. People always do. Then he said, people want a secret that changes their life overnight. But wealth usually doesn't disappear overnight. It leaks away through hundreds of small decisions. Daniel became quiet. Samuel continued, $5 here, $20 there. An unnecessary subscription, a late fee, a forgotten bill, a careless purchase, an ignored repair, small leaks, every day. Then Samuel pointed toward the bathroom. And that's why the bathroom is such a powerful symbol. Daniel understood. The bathroom wasn't really about magic. It was about awareness. Over the next few months, Daniel began changing other parts of his life. He started tracking every expense. He canceled subscriptions he didn't use. He stopped buying things simply because he could afford them. He created an emergency fund. He reviewed his business expenses every Friday. He started asking one question before spending. Do I actually need this? And something changed. Not overnight, not magically, but slowly. His savings began growing. His unnecessary expenses decreased. His business became more organized. His stress became lower. One evening, Daniel sat in the same office where he had once stared at his shrinking bank account. This time, the number on the screen was different. His savings had reached a level he hadn't seen in years. Emily walked into the room. She looked at the screen. Then she looked at Daniel. You did it. Daniel smiled. No. What do you mean? I finally stopped the leaks. The real lesson. Months later, Daniel asked Samuel a question. Do you really believe the bathroom changed my fortune? Samuel thought for a moment. Then he said, I believe you changed your attention. Daniel nodded. Samuel continued. Your bathroom was never a magic machine for making money. It was a mirror. A mirror? Yes. It showed you how easily you had become comfortable with small disorder. Once you cleaned that room, you started cleaning other parts of your life. Daniel smiled. So the bathroom wasn't the solution? No. Samuel looked at him. It was the beginning. Chapter 10. The 4 Bathroom Rules. So if you want to try this traditional Feng Shui-inspired routine yourself, remember 4 simple rules. Rule number 1, close the toilet lid. Every time, especially before flushing. From a practical standpoint, closing the lid can also help reduce bathroom spray and improve hygiene. And symbolically, it represents closing the door on unnecessary loss. Rule number 2, keep the bathroom dry and clean. Don't leave wet towels lying around. Don't allow empty bottles to pile up. Don't ignore leaks. Don't let clutter become permanent. A clean environment makes it easier to maintain clean habits. Rule number 3, use salt as a symbol of reset. If you like traditional rituals, place a small bowl of salt in a safe, dry location. But don't treat it as a guaranteed money-making object. Treat it as a reminder. Clean the space, reset the energy, start again, and replace it when it becomes damp or dirty. Rule number 4, bring in life and light. If your bathroom has enough light and the conditions are suitable, consider a healthy plant. Keep it alive, keep it maintained, and make sure your lighting is bright enough and comfortable. Because a dark, neglected room doesn't inspire anyone to take care of themselves or their home. The 30-second morning ritual. Tomorrow morning before you leave your bathroom, stop for 30 seconds. Look around, close the toilet lid, wipe the mirror, straighten the towel, check the sink, look at the plant, take one deep breath, then say, what comes into my life I will learn to manage wisely. Not, money will magically appear. Not, I will become rich overnight. Instead, I will protect what I earn. Because earning money is only half the equation. Keeping it matters too. He thought he needed more money, but what he really needed was to stop ignoring the small leaks. And maybe that's the lesson hidden inside this strange old Feng Shui story. Your bathroom isn't a magical ATM. A bowl of salt won't pay your bills. A plant won't replace hard work, and closing a toilet lid won't suddenly make you wealthy. But your home can become a powerful reminder of the person you want to become. A person who notices, a person who organizes, a person who protects what they have, a person who doesn't allow tiny leaks to become massive losses. So tonight, before you go to bed, walk into your bathroom, look around, ask yourself, what am I allowing to leak? Maybe it's money, maybe it's time, maybe it's energy, maybe it's attention, and maybe, just maybe, the first step toward a better financial life isn't finding a way to make more. Maybe it's learning how to stop letting what you already have flow away. Because sometimes the biggest financial breakthrough doesn't begin in a bank. It begins with something much smaller: a clean mirror, a dry towel, a closed lid, a quiet room, and one simple decision.